Welcome to Generation Dragons episode 42.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in today on our festive Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever else you may celebrate. Festivus. Yeah, there goes.
Happy Festivus.
Happy Festivus. And again, everyone, we appreciate you tuning in today. It's going to be a nice and short and sweet episode that Steve and I are just going to go over kind of our greatest memories of Christmas past.
Really, the material memories of Christmas.
Yes, sorry, the material memories of Christmas. Because I could spend hours upon hours of talking about my grandma's white cake with caramel sauce, or her overnight buns that she makes, or the turkey. All right. But anyways, so Steve, how are you, good sir?
Doing well, my man.
Hope you brought your glass of Christmas cheer.
I will have it now.
No.
And so, you all set for Christmas, man?
I think so. Let me ask my wife and find out if we are.
Yeah, if you ask the wife, we never are. There's always something more.
That's it. No, I think we're pretty set. As some of you may know, Ontario and pretty much all of Canada has been hit pretty hard with the newest variant of COVID.
Omicron.
Yeah, exactly. There. Well, who's next? But yeah, so our big plans, as like you, were now shot down. So yeah, we don't have much planned.
Same boat. Literally a U-turn today with the kids en route.
Oh, nice.
And a positive test, sent them back.
Yep, makes sense. I mean, I'll just drink my Christmas cheer, and I think that's the song is about, right? Just getting drunk.
Sounds about right to me.
Yeah.
So I didn't actually get to do this. Cheers. To all out there, and to you, Clint. Merry Christmas.
Ding, 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 ding. Steve, I like your sweater.
And I love yours. See, I love this sweater because it has a beer holder, but yours is Zelda. It wins. So we always get off topic right
off the bat. Yeah.
Yep. So I figured you're younger. I might, if you want to go first, give me a rough year and a gift that just you're like, oh man, that was a great Christmas.
Sorry, I'm just trying to do the math of what year it would have been. 94, 95 Christmas, maybe 96. This is probably the one that I remember the most, would be my Sega Genesis that I got. When I was really keen,
closer to 93, 94 around then, because Genesis was out for years. Unless you later.
I got it later. It was secondhand, as you may, as some people have heard before the past.
On the show,
we were not very, very well off back in the day, so my parents usually would get a few toys for us, and that would be it. And the Genesis was something I was after for a few years, and I was lucky enough to get one. For 94, 95, in around that time.
And did you learn that Genesis does what Nintendo don't?
Genesis does
16-bit arcade graphics.
You can't do this on Nintendo. Genesis does
16-bit sports action.
You can't do this on Nintendo.
GP free or columns free.
Genesis does.
What Nintendo?
I did, because luckily enough, I had brothers, and the Genesis was so much better.
And it's blast processing.
But I didn't get any of the sweet stuff that goes with it. But hey, Steve, that was my first Christmas memory that I can recall when it comes to video games or, nerdy things. How about you? Good sir?
So I'm going to date myself quite a bit here, but I also listed it, so it's easier for me. I can just kind of look over and be like, oh yeah. So my first really big memory of a Christmas that wasn't kiddie toys and things like that would have been 1982 and getting a G.I. Joe Mobat motorized tank. It was awesome. It was about this big. I still have it out in the living room. Still works. A couple of giant D-cell batteries in that sucker. And you push the little holder, the guy goes in forward, it drives forward, you turn them to the left, one thread turns off, the other keeps going, turns left, or vice versa. I used to run over and crushed cobras all the time. That was
Oh,
my
yeah.
first really good one.
Hey, dating yourself a little bit. Hey, you said 80. What year was that, Steve?
82.
Oh, wow. I was knee high to a sperm. Um,
You're up next, brother.
yeah, I mean, really, for me, the memories, a lot of the stuff I got was throughout the years versus through Christmas. So I think and a couple of other big ones were um, would be 90, late 90s, late 90s, because it would have been Beast Wars when Beast War was out. So it was 96, 97.
Damn, I forgot about that one.
When I got, Razorback,
Mhm.
the Warthog, and a few others that I got at Christmas time. So that really, that definitely was some eye openers. Great toys. It was really big at the time. Um, yeah, and I mean that would have been, yeah. So was that 97, 98, give or take? How
No,
about
it wasn't.
yourself, Steve?
Oh, it was
Oh,
much earlier. Oh no,
really?
maybe
Beast Wars
not.
was
You might be right. Yeah, I'm
96.
wrong. I was thinking of Generation Two, way before Beast Wars, because they kind of
Yeah,
re-released all the Gen One stuff there.
right.
Because I got Optimus Primal for one Christmas, and I was a little bit older by then, so it was more like collecting. I wasn't playing with it. Um, but yeah, I want to know. Don't remember what year that was. Probably 90. I'm gonna say 97.
Yeah, it's
Huh.
likely what it is. Don't quote me on years. I just remember them from my youth.
Yeah, I'm trying to go by like when I left the house and when I got it, because it was
Yeah,
kind of like the year before I left the house, and just trying to remember. But yeah, all
right,
right,
right. Yeah,
good.
yeah. How about
So
yourself, man? What was?
I'm going to keep in chronological order, and in 1983, you're going to see a theme here for the first few years: GI Joe APC, Armored
Oh,
Personnel Carrier. So it's a Joe.
nice.
You put all, like, I don't remember, maybe 32 Joes, or I might be exaggerating, 16, but they had two rows. Yeah, probably 16, like 8 and 8. But you could stand way more guys up as well. They had the seats and they had belts. Two guys could go in the front and they had seats and steering wheel and had a
Right on,
canopy that
right
went
on.
on top. And the bumper would pull out like a handle and I could just walk with all my guys in there and bring them outside and just start playing. So that was a good toy because
Start,
it was a storage thing too.
yeah, start to Joe out.
Mhm. Well, I
So
was part of
I'll
the
let
GI Joe collector club back then too, so it was
you,
more my
right.
dad that got excited about that stuff.
You got the
Like I had
card
the
and everything
dog
like that.
tags and
Yeah.
my little badge and got all these things in the mail. But yeah,
Nice. I'll let you go on to the next one, Steve, because I think you probably have a few more memories than I do. I mean,
I
you
swear it
have
had
been.
nothing to do with looking at my old scrapbooks today and putting this together.
I mean, you are 12 years older than me, so like we can't match on Christmas competitions here. So
Well, mine kind of hard stops in the early 90s because at that point I was getting older and, memories
just
weren't so
didn't care.
much material as toys.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if I'm moving on to also, we'll say 83 because the next one's the biggest on my list, which would have been 84. Not the best Christmas, but the best gift, I'd say. But the Cobra Hiss. So that's the Cobra tank. I got that
Oh,
same
okay,
year
okay.
as sorry, in 83. I got that same year as the troop transport. So I had a big vehicle for the bad guys, a big vehicle for the good guys, and
Nice,
something to compete against the Mobat tank from the previous year that I still had. Yeah.
nice. Actually, I know you made me think of it. At the same time, now this is I. I'm kind of floating around here because it's just coming back to me. But would be so it was kind of like Easy Bake Oven, but for boys, and it was like a science lab thing, and you would cook like
Wasn't that
candy
the creepy crawly
worms.
thing?
Yeah,
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 man. That was like, I don't
yeah.
remember what it was called, like a mad science kit.
Yes, yeah, creepy crawlies, yeah, stuff like that. So yeah, that would be the other one. That's I'm gonna put that in there because a lot of people are starting to collect that stuff
That was pretty cool. I'm
nowadays,
pretty
right?
sure my
So
brother had something like that or had it. I remember it. I never had it, but I remember it. So
yeah. That would be the next one. Now I couldn't tell you the year, but that would be like it would have been in the 90s. I just don't remember the year.
hmm.
I just don't remember the year. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. What else? What other
So
fine memories do you have?
1984, probably something I wanted the most of anything I ever wanted at as a Christmas gift. And I forgot to throw in some GI Joe stuff in there, but most of the GI Joe stuff, or sorry, Star Wars stuff. I got a lot of those toys back in the day too, from aunts and uncles, things like that. But they
It's always
tended to be
better.
more birthdays and stuff. So I think at Christmas I got more figures just that time, just the way it
Yeah.
worked out. But Optimus Prime, 1984, finally got it. Wanted that forever. I mean, Transformers were just out, but
Yeah.
Optimus Prime was all the big rage. Like they just came out in September. Toys, I think, were out before. But then we really put together after watching the cartoon and had to have Optimus Prime. Actually got it. But yeah, I would say I still have my original Prime, but it's a lie. My brother destroyed it.
Right.
So, you know how I'm like super, everything has its place, has to be put away. I never lose any pieces or bits. I
Yep.
was at school. My brother wasn't. He was still too young, and he took it out to the creek by our place and lost everything down the creek. And I think I just had the metal cab left. I was so mad. And then this was much later when he did this, but you couldn't buy Optimus Prime anymore. It already been discontinued. It was 2 years later, and the 86 movie and those toy lines were out, so there was no more Optimus Prime, and I was
Right.
so devastated that it couldn't be replaced. But
Yeah, that's painful. Painful, Steve. That is very, very, very painful.
Oh yeah. So what about you?
The next one would be a Mighty Max. I don't know if you recall Mighty Maxes.
Oh yeah.
So like that would be my next kind of memory of something. Did get a few of them at throughout my Christmases, birthdays, and stuff like that. As you know, my birthday just recently passed as well, so I'm very
Cheers, by the way.
very
Happy
close
birthday.
to Christmas. Oh yeah, thank you.
Again, we never got to say it on the show, so happy birthday.
No,
And I haven't got to see you yet. You got to do something still.
true. This is true. But yeah, so yeah, that would be the Mighty Max. Yeah, Mighty Max, the little figures that came in the open them up and all that stuff, clamshell stuff.
Of like Micro Machines and Polly Pockets and things like that, but more
Exactly.
like your own little world.
Yep. Yeah. So that would be my next big one. That would be my next big one.
Nice. So for me, I did forget to mention the G.I. Joe whale. I got that with the same year as Optimus Prime, and I loved it. This was my last kind of hurrah with G.I. Joe, though. I was all in Transformers by this point, but the toy was just so freaking awesome. It was about this big. It floated. It had a vehicle that popped out, which was like 2 vehicles, one that shot out into the water and one was a motorcycle, missile launchers, could hold people. It was awesome. But moving on, 85 and getting Jetfire, or some people might call it Skyfire. That basically is just Robotech rebranded as a Transformer, and that's why he dropped, because there's a whole licensing issue. And then they got him back, and that's why the name changed and everything, why they killed him off in the show and then brought him back. But that toy was awesome. He was huge. He was all die cast. Like he stood like this tall. Like I still have him in a glass case, and that was an awesome toy.
Oh yeah. No, that's understandable. That's understandable. I mean, the next oh goodness gracious, friend.
Settling well today.
I'm trying to think what would be my next one on here. Holy jumping. I don't have another one, really. I mean,
Game Gear, Sega.
No, all
Nintendo.
that stuff was a lot of that stuff was just purchased by myself. So I mean, have a Merry Christmas
Board
to Clint
games?
and nothing, man, nothing.
Laser tag.
No, it was a lot of farm stuff
Pong?
that I got.
Oh, gotcha.
You're right. So like
Not
I
the
used
same
to
kind
get,
of memory.
No, it's not. We're not. This is not the right podcast to talk about it. But no, like that's it. I didn't get a lot of like technology or action figure stuff throughout growing up. It was a lot of like farm stuff, because I was also into a lot of farm stuff. So it was like I'd get the little toys, little tractors, John Deere tractors that were ridiculously expensive. So when you were getting G.I. Joes and Transformers, I was getting tractors and plows and gates.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, I'm not. No, I'm just that's.
I mean, they don't transform or shoot and
They
kill
don't.
things, but
Yeah. They just bring life.
all right, maybe I'll do a couple in a row, because
Yeah,
there's a really
go ahead, man.
this is
Go
a
ahead.
big one. So
Yeah.
1986 was probably the biggest year for me, for memories, for I guess materialistic items getting a Christmas. That was the year I got Metroplex, Ultra Magnus, so huge Transformers,
Right.
And then 2 board games that we played the death out of until we busted one of them too badly, which was Torpedo Run, which is a 6-foot board. Like you put it on the ground, you have your battleships on the ends, and then you fire these discs out of a submarine and they shoot across, and you basically get them in the slots of the battleships, and the pieces pop out like they're blowing up. And that's it,
pretty
man.
cool.
And we never actually played them by the rules. We just were like trying to get each other first. And then Fireball Island, if you ever played it or if you ever seen it, one of the coolest board games ever. It's like this plastic piece that's all molded and all these hills and things that run around, but there's hidden like little marbles all over the place you can knock over that fall down the path, knock you over. There's a giant mouth with gem in the middle.
Right. It's almost like Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
Indiana
that's
Jones
what we used to call it.
Yeah.
Because when we were kids, we were just like, it's Indiana Jones.
Right.
So we played to the death out of that. But yeah, 86 is a big year for me. After this, it really drops off to like, I remember this game or playing that kind of thing. But did you have anything else before I blab on here?
I mean, the other one would be, oh goodness, I don't know how long ago this would have been, but near the start of our relationship, Kathy and I, she bought me Dark Link from First Four Fingers Dark Link.
So that thing is so cool, by the way.
18-inch or 20-inch statue, which was a huge surprise, which was amazing, and it was awesome, and it still is. It's the centerpiece of my Zelda wall. But yeah, that would definitely be that's definitely one of the better / best memories I've had of Christmas time, because it was one of I was like, holy crap, you're willing to drop at the time $500 or $600 on me on this one gift.
Wow, right?
Now it's worth like $2,500, but yeah.
No kidding. I'm looking up something here because you just brought back a memory. My keyboard's all messed up.
That's what she said.
So, just while I'm doing this, did you have anything else?
I'm just looking around my basement here. No, nothing off the top of my head here, good sir. Nothing off the top of my head. So
it's not coming up the year, but because there's too many made now. But Kirsty, my wife, surprised me with something at Christmas, and I love it. I have to admit, like I really plugged her for it. So, but the original MP Optimus Prime, she bought me one Christmas.
Oh, nice.
So that'd be like early 2000s.
Right. Yeah.
And man, that thing it blew me away. Like he had the Matrix of Leadership in his arm. His arm could change to the Energon axe. He was a solid metal, tall figure. I like the later one I have. I think it's MP10 Prime better because it came with a trailer. But he's a little smaller, actually. He's more in scale with some of this stuff. But there's just nothing compared to that first one and like the wow factor of it. Years later, and all the other MPs, there's just so many of them now. I'm like, she's like, yeah. But back then, that was huge. So, but going forward for me, I wanted to bring two up at least. So cut me off though, because I'm blabbing a lot.
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Okay, so the first one would have been 1990. So I'm skipping a few years because there's stuff I have listed here, but they're not that great. Just as a reference, 89 Game Boy was awesome at Christmas.
Yes, yeah, that's a sweet Christmas gift.
It was. I literally just tried to stay away from family that whole day, and and just had a whack of 8 AA batteries and just sat like by the window because I could barely see playing games. And I got Tetris with it, but all the other games, I think, because there was nothing to find, it was so sold out, were like crappy games that I think got Q-Bill in. I did get a football game that I played the death out of because I was really big into football then, But anyway, the Power Glove. What do I have listed at? 89. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. So Power Glove. I got that one Christmas. I was so stoked. I don't know if it's because of watching The Wizard and seeing it in that movie. And then like by noon, I was like, this is a piece of junk. Like this thing sucks. like I'm sitting there my arm is just killing me by now. I'm hitting center all the time because you lean any which way, it's off center now. And just I'm like trying to play Mario and jump like this. This is to run. This is to jump, and I'm like, move center, move, jump.
Yeah, so that it cursed you. It was just practice to help curse you out. That's all.
Yeah, right. You know, like actually, the NES Max controller was what trained me for that. That round thing. I wonder if anyone will get that joke besides us.
Good stuff. Good
The
stuff.
other one in 1990 I want to mention is NES Play Action Football and the Four Score. That was huge simply because it drew all my friends over to my place.
Okay.
Because 4 players on the NES, it was a 4-player game. A lot of us played football then, and you would have your plays on the back. So it came with cards that you could stick to the bottom of your NES controller, and you could flip, and you could just learn what buttons to press, and you could quickly just press before they saw you move around.
Oh yeah,
to select the play, right? And so it's to hide the play from it.
That it is pretty cool. Like to think about how much the Nintendo, it's very similar with Sega, how they took the test, they tried it out, right? They went and this was in the 80s, and they were like, you know what, let's try motion control. They tried motion control in the 80s, and it's like, it failed with the Power Glove, but then close to 20 years later, they released the Wii, and it's the hottest console that they ever sold. Right? Yeah. Like it's cool. Like it's same thing with Sega with the whole way we were talking about Sega Channel and voice over IP, and 20 years later, look where we are now, and that's what it is. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. I liked the Power Glove the way it looked more than anything else.
Oh yeah,
and the movie made it look great. But in practice, man, it sucked ass. But
you need to get a model of your hands, Steve, and then put the glove on top of it. You'll just have the glove sitting on display on.
But I think myself and 2 other friends got it that year, and I remember like being all excited on the phone. Guess what I got, Mom? And then by noon, I'm like, "Are you still using that stupid piece of junk?"
That's good. That's good stuff, man. What about what else, man? What else? You must have a few others.
I do, but they're kind of random. Like for some reason, Bayou Billy in '88 roughly sticks out for me. It's a NES game. I called it Crocodile Dundee back in the day, but it's like a Bayou, right? So like
the Bayou, yeah.
But it was like it had so many different aspects about it. So you had like the walk around, beat 'em up kind of thing, pick up weapons off the ground. There was parts where you used the zapper gun to shoot. There's driving parts. So it literally wasn't Christmas Day that I got so excited for it. I was staying at my buddy's, brought the game with me, and on New Year's Eve, that's it. On New Year's Eve, we stayed up all night playing that game. Like all the adults were partying. They didn't know what the hell we were doing. And so we were up to like 3-4 in the morning, just nonstop playing Bayou Billy, eating junk food, drinking pop, and all the stuff we're not supposed to do. It was awesome. Yeah.
It's only $5 on on eBay right now, Steve.
I own it. I might even own more than one of them. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, Steve. Well, like we said, we wanted to keep it nice, short, and sweet today because we just wanted to make sure everyone were able to hear us and see us before this beautiful Christmas holiday that we're all going to have stuck again inside of our houses, at least here in Canada. I mean, I know that in the States you guys don't care, but here in Canada we kind of care about our healthcare. Sorry.
Zing.
Note.
I'd say, to any of your American listeners, go get your feelings checked right now, but you'd have to pay for it.
Yeah, this is true. Hold on, Steve. Let me go call the emergency. I just walked in. It's fine. Oh, my heart.
That's for you, Brad and Dave. I'll see if I hear back from you.
Yeah, that's it. That's for you guys. But yeah, Steve, I appreciate it. Hey, Merry Christmas, good sir. I know you and I will talk outside of this, but Merry Christmas, friend. As always,
and to you and your family, Merry Christmas as well.
Yeah.
And to all our listeners, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Oh, we'll have probably one in between, but just in case we don't.
Yeah, if we don't have one in between, but the goal is to have one in between so we can do our year in review.
Mm-hmm. And next time I'll be having the Ryan Coke, I think.
I'll try not to finish my rye before that. I'll try not to. Hard
Just
to
buy
say.
another one.
Yeah, truth. But yeah, Steve, as always, man, it's always a pleasure talking to you. Everyone, thank you again for listening. Merry Christmas, as Steve had said. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Feliz Navidad, Joyeux Noel, whatever else you want me to say. As always, Steve,
Keep collecting
keep gaming.
and
Keep
keep safe.
safe.
I ran out of air. Merry Christmas, all.